You're listening to I'm Not Being Funny, but the podcast with me, Lee.
And me, Annie.
Hello and welcome back, or hello.
We don't know if you're new, we don't know if you've listened before.
No, but this is episode 4 of I'm Not Being Funny, but the podcast.
It is, we've made it quite a way, haven't we?
We haven't done bad.
4 weeks means another missing person.
It does. That sounds like a threat, actually.
No, every 4 weeks I do a missing person because that's like a crime that just boggles my mind, how people go missing and they're never seen or heard from again.
No, fair enough. This week we do actually need to say thank you to one of our friends, John. He has very kindly got out and got us some I'm Not Being Funny, but coasters printed, and they are absolutely awesome. If you want to see a picture of them, or a little video actually, they are on TikTok.
They are. They're very cute.
Even if our son did look at it and start laughing and say, "Dad, your forehead's massive." Thanks.
The bit you missed out on though was how shiny it is as well.
Just been coconut oil, hasn't it?
It has. I wish I did do it Lee at one point.
And then complain because the sun was reflecting off my head.
Yeah, the next day, you're that shiny, I couldn't look at you because the sun was reflecting off your head and it made it go white.
How do you think I felt? I tried to lean my head on my hand and it slipped off. I headbutted the fucking sofa.
You did. That was the first time you headbutted the couch though. Look at the second time when you brought your glasses.
Yeah.
That was definitely the least inconvenient time.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, shall we start with last week's question?
What was last week's question?
Last week's question was, what was your favourite childhood sweet or drink? And we had a bit of a chat, if you remember, at the end of episode 3.
I think I do, I'm not sure. It's been a long time.
It's been a long week.
It has.
So the ones that came up with like the most comments, I think is the best way to put this. There were my personal favourite, Parma violets, which I know you don't like because you say...
they smell and taste like flowers. Ugh.
Yep, they are lovely. I love them. Then we had another one, which is quite an old one. Yeah, I don't know if you will know of, called Frosties. Not the breakfast cereal, the sweets.
I don't know that one.
Essentially what that is, it was a cola cube, but as a circle. And in a pack it was about the size of the space bar, your pack. They were really good. You get them for like 10, 15p. Back when we were kids.
Because, like 2-3 quid now.
Yeah. But then we had people saying golf balls, which are like the gobstoppers.
See, I like the proper sized gobstoppers that you couldn't fit in your mouth.
Yeah. But then we've also had people saying Annecy balls.
Oh, I love me some Annecy balls.
Licorice torpedoes.
I'm not a big fan of licorice.
I do love that. And one that I'm going to put out there, which a few people will know and a few people won't. Licorice root.
My dad used to like licorice, like your dad does.
Yeah.
But he got licorice root once and the smell of it put me off.
It's essentially chewing a stick, but it's brilliant.
There's...
I know.
It's just the taste too bitter for me.
Yeah. And then also asking the kids, they've said Kinder Eggs, Freddos, Squash'ems, drumsticks. I do like the drumsticks.
And if you ask our youngest, like we've been saying today, the past couple of days actually, lollipops.
Yeah, just lollipops in general.
Any lollipop, if it's a fruity flavour or a sweet flavour. She's not a big fan of sour.
No.
But she does love a lollipop that paints her tongue.
Also, though, she is quite a fan of Love Hearts.
She is. I used to have Love Hearts when I was little.
Yeah.
But I never had the big long packs that you can get now. I don't think you could get them, could you? Because you'd only get the little ones.
Yeah, you get the stubby ones, or you get the jumbo, I think they were called. And then people were saying for the drinks, cream soda in the glass bottle.
The original, the proper flavoured dandelion and burdock from the pop ban.
Also, we've had people saying just like lemonade, but like the proper lemonade.
Yeah.
Shandies.
The canned ones.
Yes.
What were they? Ben Sher or something?
Yeah, I was thinking of the bar ones, but then you had like orangeade, limeade, cherryade.
You and your cherry.
Oh, cherryade. Loved that stuff.
One thing I always used to get, we used to have a coach come through our village, because I've said a few times now, my parents didn't drive.
Yeah.
So there used to be a coach come through our village every Saturday that took you to Asda down in Stockton. And I was allowed to we'd get something for dinner on the bus home. I was allowed to get me comic, which you've seen my collection of comics.
It's quite impressive.
That would be 20 pence. I was allowed to get a drink, and I was allowed to get one little packet of sweets, and that drink was always a blue Panda Pop.
Oh, Panda Pops.
Mm-hmm.
We used
Them little bottles.
We used to get them off the ice cream van.
See, our ice cream van never really had them.
Oh, I had bloody all sorts, especially like as I got a bit older in Stockton, when I moved up that way, you could get ice cream, cans of pop, packs of fags, your drugs.
It says all really that the ice cream man sold fags. I don't remember that.
He had two different tunes. One for he just had ice cream, and one for I've got some stuff for you.
I'm making money tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And also, with us talking about the pop man, there was somebody who got in touch and said that they distinctly remember handing the glass bottles back to him and getting 50p off.
Mm-hmm. We used to get money off. I think it was about 20p we used to get off them.
So I'm not sure.
I know my mum used to say, no, keep the bottles, we'll get some money off next time. But he didn't come every week. It was just like when he would be here.
Yeah.
But he had like his people that he'd go, because he'd knock at your door, wouldn't he?
It's like the...
Like your regulars.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Ringtons van now.
Yeah, but it was a pop man with fizzy pop that keep the kids up all night.
The amount of E numbers that were in them and sugar.
I know.
Could do with some of them.
We're not going to die. We're preserved from the inside out.
Especially me. And if you remember, we did talk about bad habits.
We did.
A lot of people have been getting in touch saying knuckle cracking and biting nails.
So you, the biting nails one, took
Yeah.
me 10 years to stop you biting your
I've
fucking nails.
You've done well
In the end.
in the end. But
I do the knuckle cracking, don't I?
You do?
Because I've got arthritis in my hands.
You see-
And sometimes I'm in that much pain in my hand, I have to crack my knuckles, but it makes it hurt more.
See, it doesn't bother me. I know some people out there, it's like their proper pet peeve, which we are going to get onto pet peeves. But we know that people out there, they hate it. They hate the sound of it. And I wanted to talk about a bad habit that I've got that's not necessarily a habit, it's more of a trait of mine that you hate.
Which one?
The creeping Jesus one.
Oh, you
How
know.
I can like...
The amount of times I've almost knocked you the fuck out because you'll just sneak up on us.
You see, I had this when I used to work as well, because when I was working in the office, you know, when we moved to the big open plan one, I could walk around there and nobody'd hear me coming. And my manager at the time, I'd just like randomly appear next to her and she would absolutely crap her pants, properly jump. She'd be like, for fuck's sake, Lee, I'm getting you a bell. Because I can walk about completely silent, as you know, without even trying. And I've scared you, I've scared our eldest, I've scared people at work.
Oh, and you passed it on to the fucking kids as well.
Yeah.
I can go upstairs these days, I can go up to the loo, and when you get to the top of our stairs, there's like a wall in front of you, but it's like a door-sized piece of wall, and next to that piece of wall is the bathroom door. So when you come out of the toilet, you open the door, you step out, you go downstairs, it's a little bit of an angle, so you're not looking at the bedroom next to you, and there'll be a small child stood against that little bit of wall where that bedroom door is, and then all of a sudden they'll move. The amount of times I scream at our kids, for fuck's sake, tell us you're there, and they'll start laughing, and I'm like, it's not funny. I'd turn around and smack you in the face, it wouldn't be funny, would it?
I remember you actually swung at me one time.
Was that the time in the house at the top of the hill?
Yeah.
When I was pregnant with the middle child?
Yeah, but I'd walked up the stairs, I even said to you, I'm up here now, and I went into the bedroom.
Yeah, but I never heard you because the bathroom door was shut and I was having a wee.
Yeah, but it was a sliding door.
But I was having a wee.
And you walked in, I was like, hiya, and you're full open palm.
You said hiya as you stepped out from the side of the door.
It would have
I
been.
wasn't. This was a tiny little landing. I'd just opened and come out the bathroom door, and I'd said, "I'll see you upstairs." I didn't know he was coming straight up, and I'd come out, and you had like 2 strides, and you're in our bedroom. It was that small of a landing.
Tiny.
I got to the bedroom door, and there he is. Hi, as he comes out, and I was like, "For fuck's sake!" And I did. Swung at him because honestly,
it would
thought I was going to have the baby there and then.
It would have been one of them like pimp slaps as well.
Yeah.
Like the proper.
Mhm.
And to be fair, I would have deserved it. But you got me back later that year when I went up into the loft to try and get the Christmas decorations down.
I didn't realise for about 4 years that I actually did pull you out of the loft.
Yeah. Trying to guide me back down onto a step and just kind of gave me a pull and dislocated my shoulder.
I put it back in.
Yeah.
And then I got rung off the hospital for putting it back in.
You did, which was amusing, but...
That's not my fault. I pop out the joint all the time.
Yeah.
Not easy ways to get back in.
I don't.
Good for you.
I don't want to either, because that fucking hurts.
The more you do it, the less it hurts.
That's not something I want to be considering, if I'm honest with you.
I've been doing it all my life.
Well, good for you. Anyway, getting back onto topic, I guess. It's not really. I did mention earlier about pet peeves. Like just little things that annoy you. Not necessarily things that I do that annoy you, just things in general.
Oh, all right.
Because, you know,
I have to think of some of them then.
that could be an entire episode of you just sat slating me.
It wouldn't be slating you. It would be informing the public of how irritating my husband can be.
Do you mean constructive criticism?
No, because you never work with it.
No.
Or one of mine has to be eating without shutting your mouth.
Oh.
Fucking hate it.
Sounds like somebody's walking on wet sand.
Sounds like the kids can't chew food properly. I don't want to hear or see you chewing your fucking food. Shut your mouth.
See, I can kind of let them get away with that when they can't breathe through the nose.
See, when they bunged up, I have to be a bit more out of the room when they're eating.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I do, don't I? I shout at them all the time for it. Shut your mouth. Chew with your mouth closed.
See, one thing that really annoys me, that you love to do...
Shout.
No. Well, yes, but not for this one. This one is odd socks.
I love our odd socks.
It does my fucking head in.
I was wearing odd socks today.
That's fine, you can. Mm-hmm. But when you're purposely hiding one of my socks or pairing them with something else, or when you're used to, that annoys me.
I've never purposely matched socks to be odd.
Really?
If I'm doing a load of washing and I get it out the dryer and I'm sorting it all out and I find socks that don't go together, I'm rolling them together because if not, you're going to lose one, then you'll have an odd one. It's not my fault, you just pick them up and put them on, you should go through them. Do you want to know another one of mine then, for you?
Go on then.
Putting all the washing in one go, not sorting it out for colours. Our poor middle child, I noticed today when I was looking for her socks for school, she's got one blue frilly-topped sock that's supposed to be white.
I put colour catchers in, they're supposed to do the job for me.
No, because we buy the cheap colour catchers.
I put 2 in.
Yeah, well, still doesn't do the job for you. It's not supposed to be able to put all the dark washing in with the bloody white washing.
Okay, so moving away from just picking on me.
I'm fairly sure there's other husbands that do that as well.
There's probably a lot of other people just in general that do that, but moving away from, like, household habits. Something that I can't stand, and I know you hate it as well.
Could be anything, be fair.
Slow walkers in supermarkets.
Or shops in general.
Yes, just fucking walk.
Yeah, or them that stop in the middle of the aisle and you're trying to get past them. Or they can see you coming with a trolley and maybe a kid hanging on the side of the trolley. And they stand there, they don't move. You have to tell your kid, like, you just walk in front, darling, I'll be past these people in a minute.
Yeah, the very passive-aggressive way that you've got to try and get somebody to move without asking them.
My favourite way of getting someone to move, though, especially when I had the pushchair.
Which one?
Just walk up behind them. And then all of a sudden, you know how loud I can be.
Very.
Then, excuse me! Honestly, it was hilarious because you'd see them shit their pants as soon as you spoke.
See, something that I did want to get for the, especially the double buggy, was one of them horns. Mm-hmm. We've got one upstairs, like the clown horn, goes,
yeah.
But it's really loud and really obnoxious, and I think giving that to a 2-year-old and saying, press that, it'd be brilliant.
The only reason we didn't get anything for the pram when the kids were in, especially the double prams we had, because with our small age gaps, we had a few double prams.
Yeah.
It was because we'd always have a sleeping child in there by the time someone was annoying us.
Yeah. But you had to kind of take into consideration when you were screaming at people.
Not really, because even then, I mean, after we had the eldest, the 2 girls got used to the fact Mummy's loud and Mummy will shout. Just open your eyes and go back to sleep.
Yeah, that is where we've been lucky though, because they, especially the eldest, when we were living in the flat, trying to get him to sleep with the washer going, but there was literally like 4 foot away.
Yeah.
He got used to the noise and everything, and now, unless you say his name, he doesn't wake up for shit.
He doesn't.
It's brilliant.
But you have to creep in the girls' room on a night.
Yeah, which is generally why you send me in.
Yeah.
Because then, I get in and out without waking him.
Because I'm fat and all the creaky floorboards make a right racket with me. Which is quite funny, because we did have a conversation in one of our old houses about how Lee used to think I would stomp up and down the stairs because I wasn't as quiet as him. To which, at one point, he was coming upstairs behind me and he was like, all right, so you don't actually stomp up the stairs. I was like, no, I'm fat. Fat people are louder than skinny people,
Yeah, you never forgave me for that one either.
No. I'm fatter now.
See, now, I know something else that's one of your pet peeves, but I don't know if it was a pet peeve or if it was one that just, really fucked you off, was when we first met and you were warned how much I can eat and not gain weight.
And how I put on 2 dress sizes trying to fatten you up a bit.
And I lost half a stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing nothing and eating the same as you.
Yep.
Yeah. You see, that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't listen.
And now look at you, you fat fucker.
Yeah, all 11.5 stone of me.
Yep. I'm not telling anyone how heavy I am because it's miserable.
So, that's a little bit of the pet peeves. If any of you listeners out there do have any, let us know.
Yeah, see if anybody agrees with me. You put the whites on a separate wash to all the other colours.
If there's any men out there, or women, they might do the same as what I do.
You're lazy. You just sort them. And then you don't do as much washing because you only wash them when you get full load.
We have 3
Save some
kids.
electricity.
We have 3 kids. We always have full loads of washing to do.
Only if you chuck them all in together.
What, the kids?
We used to when we used to bath them all before the oldest got too old to go in with the girls.
Yeah. Sit them under there just to shower them. So, have you got anything for us so far, Annie?
I do.
Now, is this the missing person, or are we doing that one at the end?
The missing person comes at the end.
Right, not a problem.
This is the one I was teasing Lee the other day when I wrote out, because we write out like our bullet points for how the show's going to go. We don't script it. We just write down what we're going to read through and what prompts us to the next part we're going to talk about. And I was teasing Lee because I'd said, I've got story 1 and all I've put for it is decked mother. And it is actually in the title. It's Am I the Arsehole of Reddit.
I do love Am I the Arseholes. Now, I've not heard this, so the reaction you're going to get from me now is complete raw and uncut.
It is. It's, well, the headline of it is, Am I the arsehole for decking a mother because of her son's actions?
Ooh.
So, the story. I, 33 female, have 3 kids. 16 female, 13 male, and 6 female. I'm a single mother and related to their father's passing. I'm a single mother related to their father's passing and currently work 2 jobs so that they can go to a school in a higher rated school district. So I'm guessing she's American.
Sounds like it.
My son has always been well liked at school and excited to go to school every morning, waking up at the crack of dawn to do his hair, shower, match his outfit. About 6 weeks ago, my son came home was very down and asked if he could miss school the next day, a Friday. I personally believe in a mental health day for kids. They all have great grades, and not to abuse their opinion of having a mental health day. Monday comes round and my son is having panic attacks back to back, begging me not to send him to school. I sit him down, calm him down, and he told me one of the things that is every parent's worst nightmare, and this makes my blood run cold at the thought. Mom, I'm being bullied.
Oh dear.
I was absolutely furious, considering the bullying started because he whispered into a girl's ear at PE she had started her cycle and he gave her his sweater.
So hang on. So he was being like a gentleman. He was being very friendly. He's got sisters. So
he's got an older
knows.
sister, so
Yeah.
he knows that it gets very embarrassing for a girl.
Yeah.
And any women out there and any teenage girls out there, it happens all the time. You might leak through, you might get your period and you don't know it was going to come today. These things happen, but this little lad was trying to save her embarrassment.
I mean, fair play to him.
He gave her his sweater. Harmless, right? Maybe even sweet. Well, the little shithead who has targeted my son, we will call him Gerald, told the girl's boyfriend that my son was flirting, and it went from there. Constantly being pushed, rumours spreading all over the school and harassing text messages. I can't believe how evil these kids are. I can't. Kids are fucking horrible. I contacted administration and told them that I was keeping my son at home for the week so they could come up with a plan that will make my son feel safe enough to go to school. In all honesty, I do think administration tried their best, but it had been a month and there was still crying matches every morning getting my son to school. Another school in the district had a fair. My daughter and I dragged my son to it in hopes getting him out of the house would help. We're walking around when my son stops dead in his tracks and goes pale. Gerald and his mother are walking in our direction. I decided I wanted to talk to Gerald's mum. I pulled her to the side and explained what was going on, and she said she'd heard. And, well, boys will be boys. I hate that phrase. I explained to her that, yes, boys will be boys, but this is too far. Side note, Gerald's father is a very prominent man in our community, and he and his wife are typically the face of the local events. She was not seeming to understand the severity, so I was going to walk away. When I heard my 16-year-old daughter yelp, I turned around and see Gerald was at it again. For reference, my daughter is gay and has slowly been coming out to our community. Gerald, who is 13, is telling her that it's a shame she's gay and had started pinching her. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses on. Had started pinching her body and telling her she was beautiful. My son had stood in front of my daughter and told him to leave her alone. Before the situation could go anywhere else, I walked over to Gerald, led him by the arm to his mother, crouched down, looked him in the eye and told him, "You have messed now with both of my children's peace and attempted to blow their fire out. You are the nastiest bully I have ever seen, and I hope you get what you deserve." Gerald starts laughing and says that my kids are pussies. Really? They're a lot tougher than you then. I saw red, and without much hesitation, decked his mother, square in the face, and knocked her to the ground. Looked Gerald in the eye again and said, "You think you don't hurt those that you love, but when your mother's face gets swollen and bruised and she's in pain, know that you did this to her, and make sure to explain to your father in detail why this happened. Administration ran over to me, and of course, I was told to leave. But luckily, the mother didn't want to press charges. And Gerald has not even looked in his direction. Administration called me and basically said there were better ways I could have handled it. But it had been a month of my son being tortured by this little shit. There's no improvement. How am I supposed to let my son be tormented before I step in? Am I the arsehole for decking Gerald's mother?
No.
Nah, I thought not as well.
Arsehole.
Not at all.
That's
what I would do.
You see, this is proof that there's people out there, keyboard warriors. Mm-hmm. And he obviously thought that he could take what he was doing over texts and bring it into real life.
Yeah, and he couldn't stand up for his own fucking bullshit.
Yeah, and he thought, do you know, nothing's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And...
because I can say it and no one's going to react.
Well, he got proven wrong there, didn't he?
I think his mother wishes no one reacted.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to him.
I'll be more than happy to knock out any fucker whose kids were bullying ours.
Violence isn't always the answer.
No, but you stand up for your own.
True.
Yeah, that's story one. So...
yeah, that... I mean, now we've got the context to it, I'd say no, she's not the arsehole at all.
No, not in the slightest.
The mother
well done.
of Gerald, and Gerald on the other hand, massive arseholes.
Mm-hmm. I don't see what kids get out of bullying.
I don't.
Both of our two at school have had issues, especially in reception.
Yeah.
But I can understand how that happens because there's different kinds of kids all coming together who aren't used to each other.
Yeah, it's like one of the firsts that, like, they're kind of thrown in at the deep end almost.
Mm-hmm. And they've got to learn to be around other kids.
Yeah.
All of them. And these are pretty big classes in that school.
Oh, they are.
But both of them each have had issues where they were, like, physically assaulted.
Yeah.
At which point, when I brought it up to the teacher, who was the same teacher for both of them, she squashed it straight away.
She did.
And now our eldest's actually friends with the little kid who was bullying him.
Yeah.
He's really good friends with him as well, because that little kid's lovely.
He's funny.
He is.
So, with you talking about kids, and obviously just there, it links on to something that I was going to ask.
No, we're not having any more kids.
No, that's fine. 3's
Good.
enough. Yeah. What is something that you never thought you would say until you had kids?
We don't use our kids' names on here. So what can I call the middle child on here?
Middle. Big, middle, small.
Right. So one day, Middle came up to me when she was a toddler, and I had Small. I was giving her a cuddle. I think I might have been giving her a bottle or something at this point. It was still in the morning time. And she came to me and told me in her way, "Mummy, something in my nose." And she was pointing to her nose. So, this wasn't the first time. This was the most disgusting time. She had a rehydrating raisin shoved up her nose. At which point I said, "Middle, why have you shoved a raisin up your nose?" And she just looked at me and started crying. And she was crying even worse when I'd get the tweezers out to pull it out. But from her first escapade with a hula hoop.
I thought it was Cheerio.
But yeah, like Cheerio, but we get the cheap ones, don't we?
Just
Not
when you said-
advertising Cheerio if they're
No.
not paying us.
It's when you said hula hoop, I thought, fucking hell.
No, it was one of
Cheap
the
Cheerio.
cheap Cheerios
Right.
that she decided to shove up her nose. And I'm on the phone panicking to my mum, asking her, "Mum, how do I get a Cheerio out of her nose? Keeps crumbling with the tweezers." My mum was like, I was like, "I don't know neither." And then all of a sudden she sneezed and it shut out. She used to love shoving shit up her nose. It was disgusting.
She did. I remember.
But that has to be the weirdest thing I ever had to say to a child is, why have you shoved a raisin up your nose?
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, I only used to let her eat them because she was only about 2.
Yeah.
I only used to let her eat them if I was in the room with her. So how she done that so fast that I didn't see her pushing it up her nose. I only knew it was there because she was coming to us saying she had something stuck up her nose.
Yeah.
This.
I mean, for me, it is probably stop licking your sister's face.
I thought you were going to say feet.
Well, yeah, feet as well. It's just weird.
The 2 girls have the weirdest relationship.
They do. Like, no, you can't suck your sister's toes.
Yeah.
Or,
The youngest one, she still sit with her toes in her mouth and suck on a big toe.
Yeah.
Especially if we tell her off for sucking her fingers.
Yeah.
Because we got her out of the habit of having a dummy when she was about 18 months. But from then to now, she sucks her fingers. Like her index finger and the one next to it.
Yeah.
Are always in her mouth. Every second of the day if you're not watching her. You'll look at her, you'll say fingers out. She'll take them out, but as soon as you glance away, it's back in.
You can blink and it's straight. It's like, whoa. No.
Yeah, it's like we take the days we get to take her up to the school to drop the other 2 off, we'll take her and be like, oh, can't have your fingers in your mouth. What if the head teacher sees?
I'll tell you, I've never seen her drop her fingers so quick.
I know, it's like some sort of, she'd give herself whiplash given the chance the way she moves them fingers.
I know.
As soon as you get back out them gates, they're back in.
And the other side of this question, what's the weirdest thing you've ever heard kids say? It's going to lead on to something else, this, by the way.
Okay. Weirdest thing I've heard our kids say.
And I'm going to go with what the eldest said. When he was younger, he used to call his bottle his cup of tea.
Yeah, it was like, we'd stick the kettle on, and he got into a routine of he would get a bottle if we were having a cup of tea.
Yeah, so he'd try and say cup of tea, but he couldn't, so it came out as cup of tea.
Yeah.
And one afternoon, we were down in the village, we were walking, and a motorbike went flying past, proper like revs up, going down. And he was in his pushchair and he jumped, and at the top of his voice he screamed, "Cup of tea!" because it scared him. And me and Annie were just bad laughing. We couldn't breathe. We had to stop for 5 minutes.
Just so we could wipe the tears from laughing because we couldn't see where we were going either.
The poor kids sat there looking at us going, eh? I went, it's fine, don't worry about it, mate, don't worry, you're fine. Yes, you can have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Bless him. He was brilliant though.
He was. Mine would have to be same child again, but he was a bit older. And we had our middle child, and then a matter of days later, my dad passed away. Then a bit later on that year, because middle child was born in the spring, and this was like heading for, well, it was around this sort of time of year that we lost a baby. We had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And later on, this is how third child came along, unexpectedly. When we found out we were having third child, oh, fantastic. But she was due at a completely different time of year. And this was, well, the middle child is 21 months older than the youngest. So it was a while. There was a while in between, a big gap. And we don't talk about our lost little baby.
No.
Not in front of the kids. Because they don't need to know that. But when youngest child came along, the eldest turned to me one day and he said to me, I'm pleased that baby came back. Because this time baby came back and had bones and had blood. And now you get to give her cuddles. Not like the baby that died in the house round the corner. And he was like 3 years, 9 months when the youngest was born. So he wouldn't have been 4 when he said this. It wasn't long after at all. It was a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
And we'd moved house from one. We literally moved to the other side of our neighbours. And that was what he meant. We'd had a miscarriage in the house that we'd lived in before. But he'd never been told. He'd never heard us talk of it.
No.
And when we told, like, our parents, we said, do not mention it to the kids. We don't want them to know. So that really creeped me out, and that is the weirdest thing I have ever heard our kids say.
Yeah.
Because I still don't understand how he knew.
I've got no idea.
Nah. It was just... It absolutely floored me when he did it.
Yeah.
Creepy little shit.
So, moving on to a slightly cheerier note from that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the weirdest thing you've heard in conversation in passing? So, you know, like, you catch part of people's conversations when they're walking down the street. You don't even have to be, like, eavesdropping on them or anything. You can just literally be walking past and you hear somebody say, yep, and that's how I learned not to pull anal beads out like starter motor. Fucking what? You know, the ones that make you, like, stop and turn back?
Oh.
Because, I mean, what I've just said there, that is the weirdest thing I've ever heard walking down the street. It's a good one because it makes you think.
Does.
And I don't mean about the whole, like, ripcord thing. Like, the weird shit that you hear from people where you get, like, part conversation. It's like when you hear somebody arguing on the phone and you're like, no, I want to hear the other side of this.
Yeah, because they might have a point. You might just be a dick.
Yeah. I mean, you've said something there and you've been sat there silent on your phone for the past 15 minutes. What the fuck have you done? Like, who did you fall into?
Yeah. I don't know. Not as nosy as you, apparently.
So what, just walking past people? Or, like, when you've been getting off the bus? Or...
The closest thing I've got there is when we saw the... How can I phrase this without sounding racist?
Was this when we were in the Metro Centre?
Yes, we saw...
Or...
Oh, no, I've got the best one here. I have. It's not the same one, and it's nothing racist.
No.
We were in the Metro Centre. If you live in the UK, you'll know that's like near Newcastle. So they've got the proper Geordie accent, the locals. And I was pregnant with the oldest. And we'd gone into Debenhams. It's not there now, it doesn't even exist anymore, so I can say that name without them thinking I'm advertising them. And we wanted to see the size of some proper baby cots. So we'd gone up to where the baby stuff was.
You mean BHS?
No, I don't. I mean Debenhams.
Oh, fair enough.
And we'd gone upstairs and we'd gone up in the lift because I was quite decent sized pregnant.
Yeah.
And walking around used to make my feet swell and I always avoided stairs. And we'd had a look round. They didn't have any cots in, so we couldn't get any idea of like a size. So we'd gone back to the lift. And the lift comes up and the door's open and we step in. And then this woman appeared in a mobility scooter. But you could see it was one that had been hired from the place where, like, the Metro Centre. And this woman appeared and she crashed into the doorway. And her daughter come up behind her, and we know this is her daughter because of what she said. And she turns to her and she looks at her sitting in the seat and she's like, Ma, what are you doing? And then she was like, oh, crashed it. I'm not very good at moving this. And she'd put it into reverse and fucked off behind us. Her daughter's like, Ma, where you going? The lift's here. At that, the lift door's shut. And we just stood there in fucking hysterics at this woman who crashed into the lift and fucked off. We still think she was stuck in the Debenhams department store in the Metro Centre because she was not good at steering that fucking mobility scooter.
It was so goddamn funny.
It was as the doors shut and the lass was going, Ma, what are you doing? And she stepped off to go backwards.
Yeah.
Oh.
The thing was, as the doors were closing, she was coming back at it.
Well, you could see where she was. You could see where she ended up at, couldn't you?
She'd come back, and obviously, like, I was stood on the right-hand side, inside the lift, and she'd come back, but did you notice what was next to the lift? All the fucking China cups.
No.
As the door shut, she hit that. Which made me nearly piss myself.
It's just the way she fucked off, and then her daughter turned around and started walking away as the lift doors were shut. That set me off.
Ma, what are you doing?
Ma, where you going?
And what you were on about is where you said, I don't know how to say it without being racist. There was...
Same day.
Yeah, oh,
earlier in the day, we just got to the Metro Centre.
It's like we were people watching that day. It was brilliant. There was an Asian bloke with a little one strapped to his front, just bouncing around, looking around and everything. And you know what you're like when you're out and about. I was waiting for Annie to come out of a shop. And I was just looking around, and I looked down, like the promenade, if you like, and just heard this almighty sneeze.
And at this point, I've come out the shop and we've taken a few steps away.
It was a proper echo, and I turned to look, and this bloke stood there, and he looks down at the top of his baby's head and just brushes the snot out of his hair.
Yeah. It was fucking disgusting.
It was funny as shit.
And then, a couple of months later, after the eldest was born, I'm sat, and we'd ordered tea this night, and I'm sat, and I reached me piece of pizza, and I'm cradling the baby in my arm while he's going to sleep, rocking him to sleep while I'm trying to eat my tea, but my pizza top fell off and landed on top of his head like the kid with the snot on his head.
It did.
But set Lee off all over again and laughing, because that was what he decided it looked like when the pepperoni slipped off the top of my pizza. Thankfully, the child wasn't hurt.
It's how you were sat there afterwards, you were just brushing his head. It was exactly the same, because you had the same look down of, oh shit, I hope nobody saw that.
I then went on to do it to all children of different foods.
Oh, being a parent's hard. I now understand the sneezing on the kid's head and just brushing it off. Now, I know that you had another story for us.
I did, but when I've saved it on my phone, it's like 9 pages long.
So, we are, instead of going on for so long...
Yeah, because it's going to take me ages to read all that.
And you're actually going to be able to get your glasses so you'll be able to read it properly.
Yeah, because we have tried to record the story on this bit, but I haven't got my glasses with us, so I can't see the words very well.
It was a bit of a shit show, let's be honest. So, instead, what we're going to do is we are going to release the story, which is called...
It's called Embarrassed by My Job.
Ooh. We are going to release that as a standalone mini bonus episode.
A bit like the F-Bomb Mom one, but instead of it being us chatting about our opinions on... Something like that, it's going to be our opinions on this story.
Which I think is going to be quite interesting from what I heard from that.
Yeah? It definitely is.
As a teaser, you're going to want to listen to it.
The little mini episode we'll be getting recorded some point this week, won't we?
Yeah, we'll get it done some point this week, and I might, depend on how much work needs to go into it.
We might drop it quite quick after we've got it recorded.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'll commit to it. We will have this mini episode out on Monday. Which is the 28th.
Oh God, that's the week the kids are off, isn't it?
Yep. So Monday the 28th. Keep an eye out for Embarrassed by My Job. And as a teaser to it,
he's a fucking boy child.
Yeah, he's a man child.
I wouldn't even say man child, I'd say boy child.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's leave it there, because I know you have another part that you want to enlighten us on. I
do. It's something that's very close to our hearts. And I don't mean rib cages, things like that. I'm talking takeaways. And it's also the question this week for everybody listening and the people who interact with us on TikTok, Facebook, and now Instagram.
Well.
What?
We have some new news to come, don't we?
We do.
We are going to be recording another special.
Yes.
A particular special which is coming with its own subreddit. So keep your ears out, keep your eyes out on social media platforms, because you'll find out about... You can go on Reddit now and have a look for the subreddit, because it's already created. But you will find out why we've created this subreddit in the next month or two.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be before Christmas, before December.
Yeah.
We'll have this special out
We will.
because we both agreed that it was a really good idea.
And I think it could be a laugh.
Yeah,
It could be really funny.
it could. It also could be absolutely heartbreaking, tear-jerking, and God only knows what else.
Yeah.
But yes, keep your eyes and ears out for information on why we have a subreddit.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it we were chatting about?
Takeaways. And as I said, it's the question for everybody who listens and interacts with us. What is your go-to takeaway?
Go-to or favourite?
Go-to. Not favourite, because if you go for favourite, you'll get too hungry.
But my favourite's completely different to the go-to that I have.
All right then, what's your favourite?
Indian.
Didn't even have to think.
Nope. I really miss my Indian because your bowels can't take Indian anymore.
Well, I can eat it and suffer.
Yeah, but where's the fun in eating it and suffering for the whole next day when it would generally be a Friday night we would get it? Because we could stay up later then because we're not school night.
True.
And then we're stuck in the house with the kids all day on a Saturday. It's not worth it. But Jesus Christ, I miss an Indian. Your plate piled up with food. They're good with their portions at our local Indian, and the food is amazing.
Yeah, it is absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
What's your go-to meal?
Pizza.
I meant at the Indian.
Oh. Go-to meal at the Indian, chicken boona. Or veggie boona, whichever one I fancy.
With
mushroom pilau, a tikka naan, a couple of onion bhajis, tikka starter.
and Bombay yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all got to be there, piled on your plate.
I think for me, my favourite is Chinese.
Oh no.
I love Peking duck.
But when we get Chinese, you never get Chinese food from the Chinese. I do. I love my Hong Kong style chicken, sweet and sour chicken.
I know, but
With
if I go for the duck, you sit there and take the piss out of me and tell the kids I'm eating fucking Donald Duck.
Yeah, because you are. Fucking cruel twat. Can't
See-
eat Donald.
Well, apparently not.
No.
So yeah, let us know what's your favourite takeaway and what's your go-to meal for it.
But, like I said, my favourite and our go-to are completely different. Because the one that your bloody guts can take is pizza.
Yes, and this will cause controversy. However, I love pepperoni and pineapple.
It's something you've got to try because it was a complete mistake. I was ordering the pizza and I wanted extra pepperoni on the pepperoni pizza. And I didn't realise I touched the one underneath on the app that we
Yeah.
order on. Not advertising them. And I touched the one underneath, which was pineapple. So when it came, we opened it, I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, well, it looks like we're having pepperoni and pineapple. And we both looked at each other like, oh. I don't know how this is going to go.
We both like pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
So
But then we took the first bite, and honestly, it's something absolutely amazing.
it is. It's a complete. The opposites, because obviously you've got like the bit of spice behind the pepperoni, and then you've got the crunch of the pineapple.
And the sweetness of the cooked pineapple as well.
Yeah, it's just it's beautiful.
It is.
Anyway, I'm starting to get hungry now. You said that with this being episode 4, as is tradition for you, every fourth episode,
Yeah, 4th episode, so it's like once a month.
you are going to do a missing persons because, like you said, it baffles you how people can just disappear. So, over to you.
So, for today's missing person, I've joined a few groups on Facebook because trying to look up online missing people, trying to get up-to-date ones, current ones, it's not that easy to find. You'd think it'd be a lot easier to find websites where these missing people are like posted and people are trying to find them, but the best place I've found is Facebook. So, this lady went missing in July. Another from North Yorkshire. She's extremely vulnerable. She's called Rachel. She's got connections mainly based in the Birmingham or Lichfield area. And Well, I'm reading from the screenshot of the post that I've got. It says, we're extremely concerned after contact suddenly stopped. She walked out of her job and left the majority of her belongings where she was supposed to be staying, and no one has seen or heard from her since. And this woman, I mean, you see her face, you see this woman, she's happy. She's holding a little baby. She just looks such a happy woman. And hey, I'm going to show Lee and see what he thinks about that face. Because that looks like a woman who cares.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I don't have an age. And I don't know where she was last seen because this post doesn't actually say. But Rachel has been missing. And I'm going to share this screenshot I've got on our social media. Because it tells you who to get in touch with. What reference number to use. So I'm going to share it because when you see this face and you see this woman who just looks like she cares, it just... How do people go missing? In this day and age of all the technology we have, we literally have a laptop in our pocket with our phones. How on earth can we go missing and never be heard or seen from again? I do not understand. I mean, I've watched movies with Lee and said, are there vampires? Are there, like, mythical creatures
They just come down.
that come down and just pluck these people off the face of the earth? Is that how they disappear? Because it makes no sense in my head how somebody can be 1 minute there, part of a happy family, part of a sad family. You could be going through stuff. But even these people who are sad, I mean, if you commit suicide, you're not hiding your own body.
No.
Someone kills you, yeah, they're going to hide the body, but how are these bodies not getting found? Who's so good at hiding a body? Is this some, like, amazing serial killer who's just got fucking skill? It boggles my mind. If I think about it too long, I don't sleep on a night. Because how? I mean, does that mean that we could get up in the morning and go out in the car and then one of us not come back?
Vanish.
Yeah?
Yeah. Could be like a Dexter situation where the person who's killing them or kidnapping them is actually working for the police.
There's something going on because, I mean, in America, it's not more normal for people to go missing, but it is more understandable how they can vanish and just disappear.
Because there's parts of America there's just nothing.
Yeah. And people don't go to.
Yeah. I suppose, as well, it's like Australia.
It's got a lot of barren land.
Yeah.
In this country, where it's like a really highly populated country, we don't have that. We don't have masses of land like that.
No.
If you wander off in, you're not going to be seen for days and weeks.
Yeah.
But that's how I do these missing people, because it boggles my mind. And if I can do anything to help people out there, I'd rather help somebody find their loved one and find out what happened.
Do some good in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just... You might not get the answer you want, but at least it's an answer.
It's better to know than not know.
Yeah. I've lost people that I loved, and I still love them now, my mum and dad.
Yeah.
And as heartbreaking as it is for them to die, at least I know what happened.
Yeah, you've got that closure.
Yeah, you've got the comfort at night of knowing how they passed away.
Yeah.
So that's why I do the missing persons, but I only do it on particular episodes because it can be very sad, especially if you've had a member of your family go missing and you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't want to drag it up every episode. So it's like every fourth one, so it comes at about once a month.
Yeah.
Like
and
what?
with that, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for getting in touch with us and keeping us busy on the socials.
Keep
Also,
up your good work of getting in touch with us.
and
We keep like popping out bits of social media.
And something I do want to say to everyone that's listening, including if this is your first time listening to us, on TikTok we have passed 15,000 views.
Brilliant.
So, thank you to each and every one of you.
And before we go, I know this is the sign off, so Lee's wanting to hurry me up now.
No, fine.
But I'm sure Lee mentioned at the beginning about getting something today from our friend.
Yes, I did. I said thank you to John for the
You
coasters.
did. It's been all posh calling him John, but we always introduce him as Rossi on here.
Yes, and he will be back for some more specials
He will.
because he's a very good friend of ours, and he's always,
He comes up every week for a chat.
yeah, and well, we might as well record it.
Exactly. What we got was coasters. Now, these aren't just any old coasters. These are proper cup coasters. So, you know, when you sat there having your cuppa, you could stick your cuppa down on one of these, and it's got our ugly cartoon mugs on it.
You could put your mug on our mug.
There you go.
So, we had a bit of a chat about it, and with the help of Rossi again, we've decided that we are going to give these away to somebody that's listening. And all you need to do to be with a chance of winning them, and we will announce the winner probably the start of December so they can get them in time for Christmas.
Yeah, but we're not giving all of them away at once to
No.
one person.
No, you
Because
just
what
want
we
one.
want them to do is raise our socials.
Yes. So, what we are wanting you people out there in Radioland to do is take a photo of you listening to this podcast, wherever you are. And the funnier, the better.
Yeah?
What we're going to do is we're going to put everybody's names into the spinny wheel of selectors, and we are going to select it when we are doing one of our episodes. We might even do it as a live on TikTok
Yeah?
so that you can all see. These coasters are already on our TikTok.
They are.
I've put it out so that you can see what they look like. So if you do want to get your hands on one of these, and you know what, we'll
All you
even
have to do-
sign it for you.
All you have to do when you get your coaster is take a little picture and send it to us on
Yeah.
your favourite choice of social media
Yeah, because
that we use.
on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah? We've got an email.
which is inbfbpodcast@outlook.com.
It is.
Nice and easy. Should be able to remember it.
So that's our first competition to win one of these. We've got 4. We only have 4. So if you win the first one, we're still going to have 3 more competitions, which are going to be like when we get to whoever is our 500th follower on
Yeah.
Instagram, something like that.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do all the competitions now, so that's not a competition yet. That's just the sort of thing we're going to do.
Yeah.
And then if you are the person who follows us at like 1,000 or something, we'll send you a message and say, look, we will run the competition for
Yeah.
whatever number you are. We can send you this. Can you take a photo of it?
Yeah.
Just so we can pop it out there, showing that we actually are giving these away. It is
Yeah.
actually a proper competition.
Yeah.
But we are looking at getting other stuff like this. Just little bits. It's not merch. It's just like little bits and pieces that we can take with us, because we are considering being able to do specials with listeners.
We are.
Now, this isn't something we're going to advertise right now, but we're going to have something little we can take with us so we can do a bit of social media,
Yeah.
creator stuff there. So we will be sharing any of these props, useful props.
Yeah. I like that.
So until you get the next competition, whoever wins the first one, God, they're going to have the only one.
They will.
And on that bombshell note, see you next week.
See you later. So, if you do want to get in touch with us, there are a few ways you can contact us. You can email us at inbfbpodcast@outlook.com. You can contact us on Facebook or Instagram. They are both INBFB Podcast. And we are also on TikTok at INBFB_the podcast. We look forward to seeing you there.